Hundreds have staged a protest in the Jordanian capital Amman, calling for the cancellation of a gas deal with Israel. Protesters denounced the agreement as in line with Israel's plan to annex the Jordan Valley. They also rejected the deal as a step toward the normalization of ties with the Israeli regime. According to the terms of the $10 billion deal, an Israeli-American energy company will supply natural gas to Jordan's national electricity company for the next 15 years. Gas will be extracted from an offshore field in the Mediterranean Sea. Jordan has begun receiving gas supplies from the company despite public outcry and opposition from parliament. And joining us out of Belfast is Saeb Shaath, author and Middle East affairs expert. Hello, Mr. Shaath, pleasure to have you back on Press TV. Now, we saw a number of protests against this very exact thing. Your thoughts, please.
We have to understand, first of all, Jordan as entity was carved out of Palestine by the British Empire to task with the protecting or securing the eastern border of the then born Zionist entity. So they don't think of Jordan as a real sovereign Arabic state who is considering Israel is an enemy, or they have a peace treaty. They know each other. They've been created for one task, to serve the British Empire and its goal. And along the way, the Jordanian, in their history, the government of Jordan worked hard to sabotage the Palestinian revolution and any Arabic nationalist or revolutionary regimes from Nasser to Syria. And not to forget today, there is in Jordan exists the mock Operation War Room, which the United States of America, Israel, Gulf states like Saudi Arabia and the NATO used to finance and train the terror gangs who wage terror war in Syria. So back in late 1979, early 80s, the Zionist entity, after the signing of the Camp David agreement with Egypt, they were, of course, in the, as they could say it, in the kitchen preparing for the Wadi Araba agreement with Jordan, which is signed in '94. They have this called the pipeline, peace pipeline, which is to bring gas from Egypt to Israel at the time, or when they find gas in the Mediterranean, they can bring it from the Zionist entity to Egypt. And it was in it, Jordan included, and the Palestinian entity, the authority after that. The idea was to control the economies of Jordan, Egypt, and the Palestinian Authority in line with what we call Paris Protocol of controlling the Palestinian economy, the whole thing. So the multinationals, American multinationals, and the Jordanian and the Israeli companies to control these things. You will have a politicians coming, or the Jordanian government will say to you now, but we recognize Israel in 1967 borders as a state, and we are entitled to buy gas from them, even if there is protesters or that. We recognize the state of Israel, which they denying buying looted Palestinian resources or from the looter, this entity of Israel, is stealing from Palestine and selling it to the Jordanians. But I'll give you something else in here. In Gaza Strip, there is the occupied Gaza Strip, oil fields, gas fields being discovered in the year 2000. The Israelis put hands on what they call it, a field called Marina 1, north of Gaza. And they claim this is theirs, as they're trying to do with the Block 9 in the Lebanese south, which is north of Palestine. So the whole thing is, as well, there is a plan in the future to put their hands on the Syrian gas, to play, as Netanyahu saying, regional superpower of supplying world energy. This is what they are trying to. And today, the Jordanians, when they march in the streets against this, recognize those people. They are buying stolen goods from Palestine. And the banners which the demonstrators carried with them is not just denouncing they don't want to do anything with this gas deal. They demand from their government to stop normalization with the Zionist entity, and they demand to cancel the Wadi Araba agreement. So the things goes farther, and this is will bring more unrest because there's a lot of political movement from the national side or the Islamic side opposed to what this government is doing. But at the same time, as I say, this government there's loads of debts on the shoulders of Jordanians, so they have to obey and to listen to the American master and to the Zionist entity. Even the Jordanian protesters in the street told them today, why don't you buy Qatari or Algerian gas instead of the Zionist entities looted Palestinian gas? But still, we want to see what is the Jordanian parliament going to do when they didn't even approve this deal in 2016, which was signed then. And there is a huge bulk in the Jordanian parliament against this deal. But they say they're going to have a session on Sunday. And the funny thing, why on Sunday? Because on Sunday, sessions of Jordanian parliament are supposed to be a normal parliament, which can issue bills and approve laws and that as a legislative body. In Sundays, there is no public debate. It's like a private talk between the government and the parliamentarians. Then what the Jordanian parliament can do then is only listen to what the Jordanian government wants, which receives its orders from the United States of America.
Always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you. Out of Belfast, Mr. Saeb Shaath, author and Middle East affairs expert.